My name is Grace, and for 5 long years, I worked as a nanny at Silver Maple Academy, an elite private school in Abuja, where children wore designer shoes and spoke in polished accents, while I wore hand-me-downs and walked barefoot on some days just to save my slippers. Every morning, I bathed toddlers, packed their food flasks, wiped their noses, tied their shoelaces, and chased them around playgrounds while their parents sat in air-conditioned offices. I was the invisible thread that helped hold the fabric of the school together, but nobody ever saw me. Nobody asked about my life. Nobody knew I had a daughter. Her name is Chinaza, a girl with the sharpest mind I'd ever known and a hunger for learning that scared me sometimes.
When my husband died suddenly in an accident, I was left with nothing but grief, unpaid bills, and Chinaza's bright eyes asking, "Mommy, will I still go to school?" I couldn't answer her. Her government school had closed down due to strikes, and private education was something I could never afford, not with the salary of a nanny. So I did the unthinkable. I begged the school secretary at Silver Maple Academy to let my daughter sit quietly in the back of the class during lessons. "She won't disturb," I pleaded. "I'll watch more children, clean extra, and won't ask for a raise. Just let her learn." The secretary agreed, but only on one condition. No one must know. Not the principal, not the teachers, not the parents. Chinaza would remain invisible. And so, for 3 years, my daughter snuck into classrooms with no official record, no uniform, no school lunch, and no recognition. She studied with borrowed textbooks and scribbled notes on the back of old shopping bags. She wrote with broken pencils and sometimes used charcoal when there was no pen. While other children took school buses, she walked with me before dawn. While others revised with iPads, she recited math formulas while helping me rinse laundry. No one knew she was mine. No one knew she was even there. But she was brilliant, a quiet fire. In her second year, she began topping every math test. The teachers whispered, "That quiet girl near the bookshelf, she solves equations faster than anyone we've seen." Yet, she got no awards, no applause, no mentions, because officially she did not exist. Still, she kept learning, kept showing up, kept shining. Then came speech day, the school's grandest ceremony, where trophies were polished, parents wore lace and brocade, and cameras captured children in sashes and crowns. I was assigned to clean the hall before and after the event, just like always. But that morning, as I arranged chairs near the stage, I saw Chinaza peeking from behind the curtain, eyes filled with tears. "They said I can't come out," she whispered. "They said I'm not a real pupil." My heart shattered, but I hugged her and whispered, "Just wait. The world will speak for you today." When the head of academics took the mic for the Best in Mathematics award, the hall expected one of the usual names, but he said instead, "Before we give this award, let me tell you about a girl. She has no school file, no ID, no uniform, but she's topped every math exam for 3 years. She's been invisible, but not anymore." Then he called her name,
Chinaza, and for the first time in her life, the world looked at her.
She stepped out in a faded dress and old slippers, holding back tears as people stared. Some shocked, some curious, some angry. "Who brought her?" they asked. And Chinaza, voice trembling, pointed at me across the room and said, "She's my mother." I froze. All eyes turned to me, the nanny, the woman who wiped their children's faces, the one who was always in the background. And now I was the mother of the best math student in the entire school. I walked forward, still holding my cleaning rag, and stood beside my daughter. A few clapped, then more. Then the whole hall roared with applause. After the event, the school administration called me in. The director, the principal, and the head of academics all sat together. "We didn't know she was yours," they said. "We want to enroll her officially, scholarship, full materials, and we're offering you a permanent contract on staff with benefits." For the first time in years, someone called me Ma. Chinaza finally got her name on a uniform, a school ID, a desk of her own. No more hiding, no more shame. Weeks later, the school organized a press event titled "Excellence in Unexpected Places." Chinaza's portrait was placed beside the school founders. The director gave a speech about hidden brilliance in sacrifice. And this time, we didn't stand at the back of the room. We were in the front row. When they called Chinaza up, they also called me. "Behind every star," the director said, "is a mother who refused to let the darkness swallow her child." Chinaza held my hand as we walked to the podium, and I realized that sometimes silence is not weakness. Sometimes it is the waiting room for glory. And sometimes the girl who studied in shadows grows up to stand in the brightest light of all. The end.